Now, what is clarity for me? Have you ever heard of medication and that people use marijuana for medication? And they do run around to all the old people, mainly they're old, and talk to the people about who can be eligible for this, as there's all different medications. You can pick which one you want. And that a lot of people here in Australia don't want to pick marijuana, even though it's healthy and better. Shocking, eh? The devil's got it in a tight fucking grip, it does. Don't want to pick that one because of the devil law it did about if you've had it in 6 months, you're fucked, right? So they rather pick something else so they can still drive. You know what I mean? And so here in Australia, their righteous laws, they call it, are wrong, right? As they push people into areas that they only want them to. That's how you do it. And they're doing a good fucking job, aren't they? Right? See if you can go find that dude that talks about that I said. You can do your research too. It might take you a while. I found these things because I just do research, right? It's hard to go back on some things. That's why we have a memory sometimes to help us lock in what we believe we need to know, right? And so I try to stick up for these oldies. I did this just before this clip he made. He made one not long after I stuck up for marijuana and the right of marijuana and how it's function and how it shouldn't be bullied, right? And how I believe if you're stoning off your head and you can't drive, so be it. That's true. But they should get the proof of that, right? Not the proof that they know you as straight as other people and in fact you're driving better than a dude on a prescribed drug, right? That could easily overdose on their prescribed drugs. But they just do it because they want to bully, right? They want to get an outcome. And because they did that unrighteous, now I can't do all the other things that I've mentioned in other previous things. They take and take and take. So I'm going away from there. There's a bit more clarity of what my clarity is. And going over here, because over here will allow me to have what they wouldn't even allow me to have altogether, and it was bad having it when you did have it because they don't allow so much. They're unrighteous in their own ways. But over here is actually more righteous. We can have it healthier and prove it that it's healthier, as these people will live longer having the same drug but made healthier, right? And go, fuck these people who just talk shit and love money and lazy as fuck. Right? And then over here, because you've done that, eventually, because it's a medication, they won't need the medication because they won't take their license from them. They'll still be able to drive. They won't get more depressed like over here want them to do to get their outcome. Right? That's why there's more meth and all these problems here in Australia. It's getting worse because they just want their outcome. They're bullies. They've done it with the cigarettes. Now what happened? What's happened with all this bullying to you? What do you reckon, babies? What's happened? We were watching it. But you know what they're going to do? They're already stuck in it, like some readers would say, so they're going to keep on going. Isn't that sad? History shows that. Right? That's why they say you got to start from the youngies again or somewhere else. Right? So we go back over here, and then you have something healthier, right? And you have it when you need it. And then you have it less over here because you can still get around and don't have all these problems like up here does, causes up here to cause all this. Over here sorted up here, so we got all this. You get it yet? Or you still need another schematic. That's just one area. And over here, it just constantly does it. And over here, learns from their lessons, finds what's best, not what's business, and what makes them work for them, right? They have a worse drug than what I was just talking about over here. They'll replace it with their list. Pretty hypocritical, eh? You over here can debate these things over here. They're so sad, and you know what they'll do? They'll block you or not listen. So they can still be them. That's pretty cool. And you can do the same thing over here in the other new country. That's what we do. And everyone has that perception of that, you know what I mean? And we leave, don't we? Because you can't fix that. That thing in the end will either destroy itself, find out in the end that you're right and copy you, and then you can go, told you so, you dickhead, right? Or they'll get let go by us over here. We let them go off the cliff. It can't be fixed, can it? That's what we can do while they argue about it or something. We can come back maybe in the future. There's always that. But till then, that's what happens, isn't it? See you later.